Come stop and take a trip down on my block, where you see hidden potential, young minds sharper than Ginsu, and ain't afraid to speak their mind if they got something against you. We standing with you, we tackle issues like civic pride. Hate will cease to exist, let's put our differences aside. From my side to your side, from Dutchtown to South Side, from Penrose to North Side, from Benton Park to Old North, the West End to West Side. We blessed when we step out, we stand down, rise up, stand together, wise up.
This is StitchCast Studio, produced by St. Louis Story Stitchers in St. Louis, Missouri.
This week, StitchCast members have a conversation about music with MTM Lil Derik in this live edition of StitchCast Studio.
They say who that, but you already knew that. That be them story stitches. Story stitches, story stitches, story stitches, story stitches.
A little bit later, we gonna have MTM Lil Derik and a few others actually put on a performance. But before we do that and before we get deeper into the questions, we got a microphone set up right here because we like to take a couple moments in the podcast to open up to the audience if the audience would like to ask the panel any questions. If not, it's completely fine.
I feel like the thing people won't understand in music scene in St. Louis is the younger generation really kind of just like got their wings, and the older generation, they don't necessarily know about the younger generation, but it's a gap like right in between that, to where we had a while where we didn't, like Lil Derik was saying, we didn't have artists, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have nobody doing nothing. So I think the gap is the older don't know about the younger, and the younger don't really know about the older, so neither one of them care about each other. But also, like, you gotta know somebody in St. Louis, but you don't gotta know everybody.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I was going to say, like, not only do we have a gap within St. Louis, like in the generations of artists and people in the society, we have a gap between our city and other cities and states. Like, not only do we not know about each other fully, there's other places that don't fully know about our culture to understand the music that our artist is putting out, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you can look at Chicago as a prime example, but it also goes back to a lot of older artists within those communities collabing with the younger artists. So at a certain point, it is up to, you know what I'm saying, both, I guess, to kind of bridge that gap. But honestly, being the older person, I would put more onus on them for not bridging the gap in St. Louis the way like somebody like Kanye did by hopping on Don't Like with Chief Keef. Like, that took Chief Keef to a whole nother stratosphere, because the biggest artist from Chicago at that time for sure hopped on your song, you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it's a generation of rappers in St. Louis that didn't take that time to pull up when they made it there, which is created that generational gap to where even I feel like it's a lot of lyrical artists, like, especially if you haven't been heavy into the scene, like, you're not gonna know about Tef Po, T-Double, all of these, Bodine. You wouldn't know about these artists when these are the artists that you should kind of be looking at and aspiring to be near, at least to try to get some advice from, and they're willing to give it usually. But also, I feel like the older artists have to also put themselves in the spaces that the younger artists are in, so we don't continue down this trend of it being that gap. Because I do feel like for the longest, as an artist that is more lyrical in the city, I didn't know about a lot of those guys. I knew about Tef Po and T-Double, but that was more because they were out on the front line for the Mike Brown protests and everything like that. So that's how I got hip on them. But as somebody that came up I'm in the same class as like LA Foes, 3 Problems, and artists like that are more drill rappers. They're dope in their own right, but honestly, the people they were trying to be around is not the people I should have been trying to be around, because my music wouldn't align with them. So it is like, who's to say that somebody like Nelly couldn't hop on one of their songs, just like Kanye did something out of the ordinary and hopped on Chief Keef's song? But the older generation has to be willing to, and the younger generation has to be willing to listen even, you know what I'm saying, and accept the guidance from the older generation. So that's definitely a big thing. I agree.
With that being said, too, especially B and MTM Lil Derik, like, y'all kind of like the middle children right now. Like, that's what I kind of see it as. So, like, what advice would you give to the younger generation that's coming up under y'all?
I got a whole handbook for that, really. You know what I'm saying? I got a handbook from square one for any younger artist. My DMs, my if you see me in person or you get to know me, like, I'm an open book. Anybody that knows me when it comes to it. But one of the main advices that I would give them personally, one is to brand yourself on social media. Go hard on social media. Make as much content as you can, but make sure that it's content that you actually enjoy making. So if on the side, saying one thing, like if you like to cook, make cooking tutorials with your music. You know what I'm saying? If you make a smoothie every morning, show yourself making your smoothie, what you put in your smoothie. Like, do stuff that's naturally a part of your day that you actually enjoy. Then it won't feel like, oh, I have to go make this content. I have to do this work, essentially, because you're doing things that you actually enjoy. And the other thing is to get outside within your community, go to open mic nights. Obviously, we all want to get paid as an artist, but it's going to be a point in time where, one, open mic nights are great because you should always be sharpening your skills and taking time to do stuff like that. But how else are people within your scene going to get to know you? I feel like it's very important, and it's something that I neglected for a while, but I had the benefit of like going to college and being exposed to people all around the globe when I really locked in on my music. So I had that privilege. But even if you're going to college, make sure everybody at your school knows what you're doing. Like, whatever you're doing in life, wherever you're at, everybody that's around you needs to know that you do music. Some of those people are gonna like your music and support you. Some of them aren't. That's something that you gotta accept. But ultimately, everybody around you should be knowing that you're doing music, and you should also be trying your best to get out in the scene, going to see like who's performing that sounds like me, finding the artists that sound like you in your city, and then get around them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying to suck up to them or anything like that, but get around them, make those connects, try to perform at those venues that they're performing at, and just get to know your community. And I think that is what can take you so much further as a young artist. You gotta have the social media presence nowadays pretty much, unless you just really tapped in your local community. But if you can really like try to tackle both, that's gonna set you up for success long term.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? You already know what time it is. Time for another StitchCast Studio Arts Interlude. That's right, we about to pick the city up. This week, we have a Story Stitchers original piece entitled Pick the City Up. Pick the city up, pick the city up. Yeah, pick the city up, pick the city up. Yeah, pick the city up, pick the city up. It's time to pick the city up, pick the city up.
The peace is rising, stopping violence. Yeah, we vibing, no longer silent. We hushing sirens with what we riding. Coming by with Story Stitchers, coming signing.
Yeah, we putting boots to the pavement. Took us some time, we on the rise, but grind like we still in the basement. Climb like we still in the basement. Darkest of times, managed to shine. Somehow it still look like the day shift. Youngest was some of the bravest. Community wasn't the safest. We don't just talk about what happened, we in the places they happen. We did a show uplifting the city right across the street from the dealers and addicts. You gotta know that you can't just talk about the greedy if your words ain't met with no action. We really at it, that's how the numbers add up whenever, however you add them. Back to solutions, we say that we add it. We take your story and put it to music. Things we could do with a pen and computers. I rap to a beat and I probably produced it. Tell them so they know what happened to you. I show them your pain, tell them your views. I take your story and put it on stage. When they listen to me, then they listen to you.
The peace is rising, stopping violence. Yeah, we vibing, no longer silent. We hushing sirens with what we riding. Coming by with Story Stitchers, coming signing.
It's time to pick the city up, it's time to pick it up. We say it's time to pick the city up, it's time to pick it up. Yeah, it's time to pick the city up, it's time to pick it up. Say it's time to pick the city up, it's time to fix it. We build it up.
I was built for greatness, kicked it off the pavement. I'm just glad I made it. St. Louis Story Stitchers, we the safest. St. Louis, the city that be known for murder. I'm giving you peace in the verses unheard of. Ooh, that's it. The Stitchers are at it again. Pick the city up, that's what we do. Pick the city up, that's what we did. We the leaders of shifting the youth. And I'm tired of living in grit. In a city that's just me and you. It's a small world of my home to lose.
It's time to pick the city up, it's time to pick it up. We say it's time to pick the city up, it's time to pick it up. Yeah, it's time to pick the city up, it's time to pick it up. Say it's time to pick the city up, it's time to fix it. We build it up.
These
always been looking down, it's time to pick the city up. Need some love to spread around, cause we can never get enough. Keep them good vibes going, stories to just stay on lit. Since St. Louis is my channel, all my viewers stay on it.
New kicks and new fit, yeah. Life is golden, not rich, yeah. Setting goals and can't quit, yeah. Two-step a little bit, yeah. Pick the city up, that's what we do. That genocide is big data, we live longer, that's new.
It's time to pick the city up, it's time to pick it up. We say it's time to pick the city up, it's time to pick it up. Yeah, it's time to pick the city up, it's time to pick it up. Say it's time to pick the city up, it's time to fix it.
Look, got 314 on chiropractic, selling hope to all the addicts. Free my folks about the madness, tell them ain't no going backwards. Time ain't waiting for no man. Violence cannot be the plan. If we really wanna win, pick the city up again. Put the city on the Benz, put the city on the jet. Put the city up high, let it fly and progress. When you talk about the city, tell them how the city next. When you talk about the city, tell them how the city blessed. Story stitches on my chest, we the better you could impress. Know it's hard for you to digest. Picking the city up, we do best. Giving jobs to the youth so they'll finesse you out your check. Gave a safe place to the youth so they can have a place to rest.
Rising, stopping violence. Yeah, we vibing, no longer silent. We hushing sirens with what we riding. Coming by with story stitches, come and sign it.
It's time to pick the city up, it's time to pick it up. We say it's time to pick the city up, it's time to pick it up. Yeah, it's time to pick the city up, it's time to pick it up. Say it's time to pick the city up, it's time to fix it. We build it up.
Okay, I got a question. I like making music, I like writing everything, but I also like making content, that's entertaining, that's still funny. And then when a new viewer or new stranger sees you, do you think I should go 50-50 on both things I'm skilled at, or do one or the other more, or even someone in the industry that I care more about the artistry, or I care about more just being entertaining? Because I see even the artists who are big now, like the A-list artists who are very funny online but not taken seriously when it comes to music, and they have to kind of fight for that. Do you think it's more important to just still be yourself and show your personality, or just show the music?
I think you have to show your personality as an artist if you want to connect with people. Now, how you choose to do that is a whole nother story. So I'm also stream. I do a lot of different things, and I had the habit of I made a whole different Instagram, I made a whole different YouTube, I made a whole different TikTok for my gaming content. Then of course, I got my wrestling podcast, I would say this: if you are worried about getting a lot of views, then you do want to have a TikTok for the funnier stuff and a TikTok for your personal page, your music and everything like that, because they want to categorize you so they can show people that like that type of content, your stuff. But if you don't want to, if you're not tripping off of getting 1 million views every time that you post, and you just want people to be able to see your personality, I think that is the best way to do it, is to mix the content on one page, because now you're growing that one page. So you may have a video that goes viral or just reaches 10 new fans that was funny, and now they go click on your page and they're like, oh, he does music too? Oh, let me check out his music. You know what I'm saying? Because they like your personality. So even for me now, on Instagram, I do a collab post with all of my pages. So if I'm doing something with the podcast, I'm still collabing it on my main page, and I'm doing something as far as gaming, I'm still collabing it with my main page. I'm still using my music for the gaming content, so that way, it is having the opportunity to bring new fans my way. So personally, as somebody that went the initial method, which again, I will say, I know for sure TikTok was prioritizing you choosing what type of content you want to make, which led to people making 4 or 5 different pages for all of their different types of content. I think now the algorithm is just so out of whack, and your primary target should be showing people you as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Show them that funny side of yourself, show them that creative side, show them everything, because a lot of people, they have to like you to like your music to an extent. You know what I'm saying? I don't know J. Cole, but I feel like we would be really cool if we met each other, because I hear his personality through his music. I watch his interviews. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there are different generations, so they not content heavy, or even somebody like Smino, the content that he posts is just like really cool, you know what I'm saying? How I look at it, at least. So if people are looking at you like, oh, their content is funny or their content is cool, and they're starting to like you as a person, I do think they are more likely to listen to your music. But it's a mixture, because I know it's a lot of people that like are like more for their funny skits and stuff, and then they come out trying to make music. I feel like that's different than if you are like mixing the content up. So I do think mixing the content up is better than being somebody like, even let's say, because Drewski done made some songs, hasn't he too? So like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but I didn't want to say the person in St. Louis, but it's people that are more known for their funny skits, and then they get known for that. Or what's dude from Chicago? Skinbone, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody look at his page to listen to his music, because you blew up off of being funny. So if you mix it up, I think that's the better strategy. So you're still showing your personality, and then you're still promoting your music too.
He one of them social media gurus, so I listen to that, man. I ain't gonna lie. That digital thing, he'd have figured out. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I also believe that you are the brand. So like he was saying, you should just be yourself and mix the content, like kind of finding a way to merge the three. ChatGPT is a great way to like get a lot of ideas from. So I would say you should use ChatGPT to ask, what are creative ways that you can make content, but like not say, oh, I'm not doing enough music, or I'm not doing enough funny stuff or personality stuff. Just find a way where you could balance the three.
So as artists, what do you want your audience to resonate with or take away from through your art?
As an artist, I think my audience should resonate with a multitude of things with me. The fact that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. The fact that there is always like a different route, especially being somebody that looks like coming from where I'm from. I feel like, and this goes to like the artists that I were inspired by the most as a kid, especially. Like one of the first hip hop songs I remember is I Know I Can by Nas, you know what I'm saying? So like just like that affirmation of me knowing that I can be whatever I want to be, that's the same type of thing that I want to show my audience, you know what I'm saying? And if you've been knowing me for a long time, or if you listen to my interviews, or you get to know me more, you will know things like I've been in movies, I've been on TV shows, like I went to college. Like it's so many things that I feel like a lot of everything that I dreamt of when I was a kid, I manifested and I made happen. You know what I'm saying? Even if it isn't to the magnitude that I dreamt of as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously when I was a kid, I was thinking, I'm gonna be on Disney Channel, I'm gonna be the biggest actor. You know what I'm saying? But even me being able to work in the film industry and be on a movie like Coming to America 2, like even though I was only an extra, that's still huge. I was front page, I modeled for Jordan. So just resonating with the fact that somebody that looks like you, somebody that thinks like you, somebody that comes from the same environment that you come from, or has been through similar things that you have been through, or you are probably gonna go through, being a black male in the inner city, that you can still achieve all these great things. You can still do anything that you put your mind to. So that's always, you know, my message in my music. No matter what I'm talking about, that's the message. You can do anything that you put your mind to.
I would say for my audience, as far as all the different things I do artistically, that my message is have fun being yourself. A lot of us were artists before we knew the name or the word or the term artist. You know what I'm saying? We was kids making stuff up, having fun and different things like that. And that's where the space where we all came from. Sometimes when we get into industry, sometimes when we get into life or we grow up, we forget that inner child. We forget that playfulness that was the inspiration for us wanting to have access to the things that we wanted. And so a lot of what I do is really helping people to return back to that playfulness and to that nature of being curious again. Because you can look at something that you've always looked at from a different angle. You can start to be somebody different. You have access to more things of yourself when you're allowing of utilizing your imagination a new way. And imagination is, you know, the workshop of an artist. And so when you return back to that with playfulness and openness and things of that nature, there's nothing that you cannot do, because you will find a way to do so with laughter in your heart. And so a lot of my things are around really teaching people, but more so illustrating what it looks like to be playful in the process of doing the art. Because sometimes we get so locked into the destination and not the process.
So I'm one of those artists that feel like as an artist, you have a certain amount of influence over the people that consume your art. And so like whether or not you choose to be a role model, whether or not you choose to take that influence seriously, I kind of feel internally like I have a responsibility to those that consume my art. And so if I know that you're going to take what I say seriously, then I have to say something. You know what I'm saying? I have to say something that's worth saying. And I'm not saying that you can't make songs that are fun and stuff like that. 100%. I pride myself on doing both. But I say that my music does one of two things. I try to make the type of music that either helps you get through the things that you're going through, or the type of music that helps you forget about the things that you're going through if you're not ready to deal with those things. You know what I'm saying? I feel like music makes you feel a way. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no way around it. I know it's people that would say, I don't want to be a role model. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I'm not mad at those people, but I do feel like it really ain't no way around it. Like if I know that what I'm going to say, you're going to internalize it and you're going to walk around thinking that thing that I just said was true, then I feel like it would be kind of messed up for me to encourage you to do things that I know are harmful to you. You know what I'm saying? To encourage you to be anything less than your best self. I don't feel like I would be being as authentic of a person. And a big part of my brand is authenticity. You know what I'm saying? It's being who I truly feel like I am, who I truly believe myself to be, and encouraging you to be who you truly believe that you are. Not encouraging you to be me, but encouraging you to be whatever the realest version of yourself is. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I want to be remembered from. That's what I want people to take away from my artistry. I want you to feel like I truly mean the things that I'm saying, and I hope those things have a positive impact on your life.
I would say I would like for my audience to resonate with the essence of me and the words that I speak in my music. I feel like I'm not it right now, but I feel like I am being prompt to be a voice for the youth in St. Louis. And I feel like with my music, they'll listen to it and be like, I be feeling like this. Oh yeah, I go through that. And so I feel like with my music, it's kind of the duality of man. It's like I talk about being bad, I talk about being good, I talk about everything that the human experience is, but also the effects that it could have on people. So I feel like I would like for the audience to resonate with that and, you know, the music as a whole.
I would like the audience to take away, I would say, resilience, self-expression. I just want, when people listen to my music, I want them to see that I took a negative situation and I transmuted that into something creative and positive. And it might have affected me at the time, but I'm so flexible that now I'm 10 steps ahead. You know, I want to affirm people that they can have the same type of resilience that I have also. So yeah.
I want my audience to look at my art as the way I looked at it before I made it. Like, and what I mean by that is the mental state that I was in before I made whatever piece of art I want this audience to dissect and analyze. I want them to listen to this art and hopefully it helps them in the way that it helped me to make it, if that makes sense. Like, I make different types of art for them to, you know, attach to different types of situations. Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
How y'all doing? So like anything in life, there's going to be negative and positive times when it comes to artistry. So what's some advice you can give an artist when it comes to health, whether it's physical or mental?
I think you kind of already said it. The fact that, and I don't know if you was a part of this conversation, but I know a few people in this room was having a conversation a few weeks ago or a few days ago about how positivity and negativity exist together. Like you know what I'm saying? They exist in tangent with each other, you know what I'm saying? And nothing that's worth having is gonna be all easy, you know what I'm saying? Nothing worth having is gonna be all easy. That's just the way it goes, you know what I'm saying? I would say that mentally, you know what I'm saying, spiritually, you have to have your mind made up as to whether or not what you're chasing is worth what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because each level that you get to, it has harder struggles with it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, the successes are greater, the wins are greater, but the failures are greater too. You know what I'm saying? Me having I ain't even gonna put that in the universe because I got a show coming up, but a artist at my level having to cancel a show because it didn't sell well enough looks a lot different from an artist like Drake or Sexy Red having to cancel a show because it didn't do well enough. You know what I'm saying? As hard as I may feel like it is at my level trying to operate and be an artist, you know what I'm saying? I still have certain privileges that after you get to a certain point, you don't have no more. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard for somebody at the top to fail silently, or to fail privately, or to fail quietly. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then just being in a place where everybody is looking at you all the time and everybody is critiquing and judging every little move you make. You know what I'm saying? Like it's some women that can't go out the house without paparazzi. Like, oh, why she got them ugly socks on? You know what I'm saying? Like there is something, like, point being, like, the higher up you get, the harder it gets too. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you do have to know why it is that you're doing what you're doing. And you have to know in the deepest parts of yourself that whatever you gotta sacrifice, whatever the struggle is, it's a reason that most people fail at it. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason. Because it's hard to do. It's hard to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Few people actually get as far as a lot of us are trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? And so you do have to know in the deepest parts of yourself, I need to do this. You know what I'm saying? I want this bad. I want this bad enough to achieve it. And if you don't want it bad enough to achieve it, that's okay too. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody telling you that you gotta be a Grammy nominated artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's what you want. But point being, if you're going to look at this musical mountain, which is kind of a grimy industry, so if you're going to look at this musical mountain and say, I want to get to the top of this thing, you know what I'm saying? Then you do have to accept that there's a level of ugliness that comes with that, and that the ugliness gets uglier and uglier and uglier the closer you get to the goal. So you have to decide within yourself whether or not you're willing to deal with what it takes to get there.
I kind of want to expand on what Brandon said too, to that when you allow the good and bad to coexist, you also have to be mindful of both, and you know the repercussions of both, and also the benefits of dealing with both. And you got to allow yourself that time to deal with both too, so that you can, you know, persevere and be resilient.
As far as that go, two main things should be your best friend. It's mental capacity and perseverance. If you got those two things, you should be okay.
I'm huge on faith. I believe to whom much is given, much is required. So it's always going to, like Brandon said, there is no way it's going to get easier and easier and easier. You might, be able to get through it, and cope with it. But I believe anything that's worth fighting for is tough, and you have to build a firm foundation. And that's not easy, building a foundation from ground up, but it teaches you a lot about discipline, hard work, perseverance, and all of those are important elements of getting through life trials, no matter what it is, no matter if it's music, no matter if it's, getting up, waking up in the morning. We all go through things in life. You're gonna have not only work, but you're gonna have to deal with your family life, your self-care. So you just have to find a way to stay grounded and, balance.
I was gonna say, to add to that, I know there was somebody that once said, the greater the light, the greater the shadow. And the bigger that you want to go and the scale that you want to go, it's more important to be self-aware of who you are. Like what it is you truly want, what it is that you are seeking to achieve. I had a conversation with somebody the other day when you go to a firing range and you shoot a target and you 5 inches off. Those 5 inches off are quite different when the target is 500 meters away. You might not hit the target. So being very specific and precise on what it is that you want, and also understanding the unconscious aspects of you that may restrict you, but also some of the hidden gifts that you have that may propel you further than you ever thought, is very, very important and essential to that process. Because as an artist, you are often an alchemist. You're often turning pain into prosperity. You're often turning one thing into another thing. And being able to understand that and how, what's your unique way of doing that allows you to be able to, in the pinch of a situation, know how you can pivot.
Yeah, I like all the points that y'all made. For me, as far as my best advice for an artist, besides a lot of stuff that y'all was saying, as far as mental and physical health goes, is don't be afraid to take rest. Like rest your pen, rest your body, rest your mind. Take some time to not be so focused on the art that you don't live a life outside of it. Because, you know, when you love doing something, it doesn't feel like work. So you get to a point where you fall in love with the grind, you know what I'm saying? And with the amount of tapes that I've made in like the last 4 years, you would think that I don't take breaks from writing, but I do all the time. I take breaks from performing all the time, just because my body and my mind needs time to recuperate. I need to go outside of the music and live a life, so I have more things to talk about. I feel like you can't get too caught up in the grind or feel like you getting behind necessarily, because again, your journey is your journey. You're not in a race with anybody else. So if you keep that in mind, you will realize, okay, I can take a break. I can take a week off and not work on my craft. Try not to even think about making music during that week, or try not to think about writing or dancing or making an art piece. Whatever it is that you're doing creatively, don't be afraid to take rest for your mental and for your physical, spiritual, all that.
And accept that it's a slow process. The process is slow. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, try not to rush it.
Lastly, I would like to add, don't be afraid to ask for help. There are people who are exactly for you at that time that you need them to be, you know.
What I wanted to, it's a bit of a question, but it's also a comment. You guys were talking about two things: having the traumas or the pain that has taken place in your life and transferring that into your art and funneling it through your creativity. That was the first thing. The second thing was about the moments in time in our history as a city when we weren't putting ourselves on the map as much in the music industry and in the music field. And I was just sitting there thinking, and I'm just like, hold up, here we are, everybody's here, and there's so many people, not just you guys are self-artists, you know, like you guys claim the artistry, but there are people out there who they don't necessarily think of themselves as an artist, but they might make music with their friends. You know, they're throughout like these past 5 to 10 years, we have all this type of creativity that has come out, you know, through YouTube, through TikTok, Vine, right? And another form of that is the music, which is what we're talking about today. And there's like a movement that's happening where we're all learning to kind of build that community within our small little circles that is helping us move through the experiences of life, you know, positive or negative. And I just wanted to speak toward that because also like what you guys do as story stitchers is helping us lower violence in the community and helping us bring more positivity to the community. And I'm speaking on the fact that in those gaps when it was a little bit more silent in our city, when the music was a little bit more quiet and the artistry and the creativity wasn't really flowing, there was probably an uproar of violence and an uproar of the community kind of not really like being there for one another the same. And now, like, we just had this tornado where everybody is kind of, now we're being there for each other in all these ways we've never been challenged before. But also in the music scene, people are challenging themselves and looking into themselves. So I guess I'm asking you guys, like, I don't know if I'm asking or if I'm just kind of stating that you guys are sort of part of a revolution, or like a new movement where we not only are we being there for each other more, but being there for ourselves more and healing our community. So the days when you are being brave and you put that pen to that paper and you're being real and you're being that authentic self, yes, it's your journey and yes, that's your experience. However, you are part of this collective of, you know, because we're all connected, and you making peace with yourself and writing that, or, you know, expressing yourself in that way, it's also affecting everybody around you and everybody doing it, not just you guys, but even the other people in the room. The more that you are expressing that authentic self, it's literally healing our community. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree. All right, that being said, yeah, I'm sorry. We got to wrap it up. We've been talking for 45 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a long
At least that's how Blue looking. Blue said.
He said, yeah, it's time to go.
He said, nah, it's time to go. All right, so I do want to thank y'all so much for being a part of this conversation. Not just the panelists up here, but, you know, everybody out here that made this conversation what it was. We want to thank y'all so much. MTM Lil Derik, thank you so much for sitting down and talking to us, you know what I'm saying, and imparting some of that wisdom. Definitely clap it up for him, you know what I'm saying.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Wisdom, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate you, bro. That being said, I do want to thank everybody under the sound of my voice for tuning in to another episode of StitchCast Studio. We hope you found this insightful, that you learned something, you know what I'm saying? If you're in between the ages of 16 and 25 and wondering how you can become a part of our StitchCast family, we encourage you to go to storystitches.org. Or if you're just wondering where our next performance is going to be, where's the next event, when's the next time we doing charity, go to storystitches.org, where we have more information than you can handle. I absolutely assure you. That being said, we are signing off.
Yeah, bye. It's the word.
Power and presence.
See ya.
Till next time.
And we out. Peace, y'all.
Toodles. Out.
StitchCast Studio Live is sponsored by the National Endowment for the Arts. Learn more at arts.gov. Story Stitches Creative Youth Development is made possible by the Lewis Prize for Music's 2021 Accelerator Award. The mission of the Lewis Prize is to partner with leaders who create positive change by investing in young people through music. Additional support for StitchCast Studio and Story Stitches programming is provided by the Regional Arts Commission, the Office of Violence Prevention, in partnership with the St. Louis Board of Alderman through the 2024-2025 programs to reduce crime amongst at-risk youth and the St. Louis Philanthropic Organization. St. Louis Story Stitches Studio, the center, is supported in part by Kranzberg Arts Foundation, where St. Louis Story Stitches is a proud resident organization. Thank you for listening.
They say who that, but you already knew that. That be them Story Stitches. Story Stitches, Story Stitches, Story Stitches, Story Stitches.